Hi, my name is Taylor Kyle, also known as the Win-Win Magician, and if you're here, it's because you've heard the hype about goal convergence. Okay? And people are getting hyped about this. Why? Well, we're going to find out today. That's why you're here. After all, that's why you clicked on the video. Sounds like an interesting topic. And if you're somebody who works with things like KPIs, OKRs, things like this in your business or in a business that you're working for, then this is going to be unbelievably valuable for you. And I'm excited to talk about it. So to understand this idea of goal convergence, most people are, very familiar with things like goal alignment, right? And this is not that. It's very different. And it's very important that you understand this. All right, so here is this really fun idea. Now, most people are trying to track lots of different stuff in their business. I'm going to show you in a minute how you can track this. But first you need to understand why you want to track this, okay? And the idea here is in a company, you're going to have different people working. Okay, so we're going to draw little circles for people. We're going to say this is person A. Okay, this is person B. Now let's say person A is working towards a goal. This is their main focus. Their focus is here. And person B is working towards a goal. And so their entire focus is on their independent goals. But what happens if every time person B achieves, and we're going to put A for achievement here, okay? What if every time a person B achieves something, that achievement actually adds, even though it's a separate goal and a separate line of action, actually adds to help person A also achieve their goal. Interesting idea, right? So actually, every time an achievement happens here, it's +2. Because this person's achieving separately, and this person also is +2. Because for every achievement this person does and every achievement this person does, you add an extra achievement to the opposite side. That's what goal convergence is. Why is this called goal convergence? Because although these people are going their separate paths, there is a greater unified goal that their separate actions end up achieving, all right? Unintentionally. That's usually what this is pointing to, okay? And it also points to the fact that certain types of actions can have multiple effects, all right? This is super important. Now, of course, the opposite could happen. Maybe the goals, two separate goals that have separate directives don't converge in some way. Convergence means that somehow there is a convergence in the effectiveness of each goal, even though they're done separately. Right? But this could be true that you could have two goals that are different goals, but somehow they conflict with each other. Right? So like an example is we could have A and B, and every time a person A achieves something, it actually causes this person to go farther away from their goal. Right? It could even reverse their goal theoretically. Right? So go off to the side, you look at it as a divergence, so they diverge away from each other, or it reverses the goal. Now, a lot of companies have kind of figured out how to track this, right? They figured out, okay, there are things that can hinder us. So people will look for that in companies. The problem is this isn't enough. What you want to do is you want to cause convergence, all right? And so what I'm going to explain here is a simple method and way in which you can do this. So how are we going to do this? How are we going to get these goals to converge? Well, common ways of tracking goals are things like KPIs and OKRs. Okay? I'm going to assume if you're watching this, you know what those are. If you don't, go look them up. Okay? You need to understand what they are. Now, KPIs, these are just things that you need for the business to constantly, be successful. Right? They keep the business stable, and you want to make sure you're hitting them all the time, right? Now, OKRs are more about like new goals or things that are helping the company grow into new spaces or new things that it hasn't done. And there's a process in it where not only do you have the main goal, but you have minor achievements that help you achieve that goal. So you need to track it, any progress you make towards that goal. Now, whether you're doing either one of these, you can map out goal convergence by looking at each separate part of the business. So let's imagine we have sales, and let's say you have customer service. Maybe you have some type of product service. So the product, let's say product over here, product deliver. I don't know why I put B. Product, okay, service. Now let's say the sales team, right, wants to only be on their call for 2 minutes at most. They want to sell, get in and out, right? Or maybe the customer service wants to lower their time with the customer. It doesn't matter who wants to lower their time with the customer, but one of them wants to lower their time with the customer. Let's actually do customer service because it's more obvious with customer service. So let's say they're trying to lower, I'm going to put an arrow here down, lower customer service, okay? And the product providers are providing poor quality, right, in some way. Now, what that means is that poor quality product probably is going to have more customer service, right? So trying to keep low time here doesn't mean these people have to be better at their job. It might just mean that this person improving the product will actually make this person's job easier, right? Now, the same could be said. This person doing better at customer service, getting people off the phone, finding out what their problem is and figuring out how to solve it might actually be somehow related to this. You see what I'm saying? And so their goals converge. And so the thing is, you need to figure out what tasks here, what achievements here, and what achievements here actually converge and cause a win-win for both of these separate parts of the business. And if you map all of this out and you know where your numbers are, you can understand what to double down on. And more importantly, if you find certain goals that are the opposite of convergence, so diverging, right? Diverging goals, then you can get rid of those, right? At least at the bare minimum. So hopefully this helps you see that you can have many different parts of these many different parts of your company, and they can all work together in a synergistic way. And understanding goal convergence and how to create it is the most important thing you can do, because by doing this, your business will become many, many times more efficient. And all of these ideas came from my years of experience of working with people on stage, in crowds, and understanding how to get people to align their goals and achieve fun and interesting things on stage. So not only am I extremely helpful, but I am entertaining, a little funny looking. Yeah, I know that too. But overall, I have a lot to provide, and I would be willing to do that for you if you're interested. Just give me a message.